So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayum is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayum, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayum can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, baby. Yes, it is a Victory Monday. Woo! I love it.
I think
Yes?
your webcam. I think your audio's on your webcam.
No, don't tell me that. No, don't tell me that. Oh,
There's something.
something, man. Something, honey. Let's. Are we good now?
There we go.
Good. We good? It's a Victory Monday. I love it. Oh, man. Wasn't it a good sleep, right? Wasn't it a good strut to the kitchen? Wasn't it a sweet cruise to work? Aren't you smiling when you're walking into work? Boy, feeling good, huh? For you young fans out there, okay, we haven't felt this. Us, because you young fans have never even come close to this, right? Well, 70 burgers, none of us have come close to. But what I'm talking about, having like a real team, like this hasn't happened in 40 years. Okay? I mean, we're going through stuff that has not happened in decades. Okay? Decades. I mean, I can't tell you how happy I am with all of this. I can't tell you how satisfied I am that all of this is finally, coming to fruition. The stuff we've been talking about for years with Chris Greer, and then now with Mike McDaniel, and obviously with Tua Tagovailoa. And it's just been kind of an uphill battle with all of this. And it's just so awesome to watch this team turn the corner, a corner they have not turned in forever. Okay? Last 25 years, all you've ever had were fraudulent teams. Absolute frauds. Some terrific players throughout, from Zach Thomas to what's it called? Cam Wake. I'm thinking, and everybody in between. And none of those teams were ever real. They gave us some good moments. They gave us some happy times, but they weren't real. They were never a real threat to actually go and get into the playoffs, make a deep run, and win a Super Bowl. None of those teams in the last 25 years, because none of them had a quarterback. That's really the problem. Even the Marino teams with Jimmy Johnson were frauds also, because Jimmy was a fraud because he didn't prepare the offense in order to win a championship. You know? So you've never had this. And this is one of the battles that I've had with Dolphins that I'm sure over the last 20 years were really pissed and frustrated with me and, called me Mr. Negative and all that kind of shit. Kind of like I have now one media member. Oh no, you're a Dolphin homer. Now, that kind of stuff. We haven't had this. This is real. Okay, your general manager and your front office, I think, is the best in the NFL. I've been telling you for years now. For the last 3 years, I've been telling you they will prove to be one of the best front offices in the NFL. They're doing it now, finally. That I think it's all coming together. You know what I mean? But I believe you have the best front office in the NFL. I believe you have one of the best minds in the NFL in Mike McDaniel offensively. I believe you have one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL in Vic Fangio. I believe you have one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL in Tua Tagovailoa. This stupid shit with arguments about Herbert and everybody else and all those guys, they're all behind Tua. Lawrence, Herbert, all of them. Okay, Burrow's the only one in front of him out of the young guys. Nobody else. Oh, and by the way, Burrow is starting to get more injured than Tua. Anyway, so you look at everything going on here. This is real, dude. This is real. It's never been real. Ever. And this is real. I mean, this is the kind of feeling I have not had since I was a kid, man. I'm just telling you. I always looked at these teams and it was like there was always a side of the football missing. There isn't. They even got a defense to win. While their defense isn't great, you no longer have to be great. What you have to do is make key stops. Yesterday, they were fantastic. They shut down the run again like they did the week before and all that. The first week was the only week where, they ran over them, unfortunately, but still won. So in the end, they made the key stops at the end. And so this defense is only going to get better as everybody gets comfortable, as Vic gets to know everybody. Look at Van Ginkel. As the weeks have gone on, he has played a bigger part in what you're doing. So you're figuring out what needs to get done. And then once you get Jalen Ramsey back, holy crap, then it really gets super nasty for the Miami Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? It'll be death for many in the NFL. That's what's going to end up happening. So this is real. And that's the beauty of what you're witnessing now. Okay? It wasn't real with Jimmy ever. It wasn't real with Ricky Williams. It wasn't real with Lamar Smith. It wasn't real with Jay Ajayi. None of that. It wasn't real with the Wildcat. All that shit was gimmicks and were teams that were, you're hoping that if this falls into place and that falls into place, maybe we can win. Maybe we can have a winning season. Maybe we can sneak into the playoffs. This isn't about sneaking into the playoffs. This is about being one of the elite teams in the playoffs. This is about having home field advantage. This is real. Okay? This is why Sean and I already have a pad in Vegas. I got a 2-bedroom pad too, Sean. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You got your own bath and everything. So we're set. Got everything. The only thing I don't have is the plane tickets because I'm not getting those yet. Although I was thinking maybe I could get the plane tickets and just get the insurance. That way I just lose the money in the insurance if I have to cancel. That's it. I might do that just to kind of set up the plane tickets. I might do that. I haven't done that. That's the only thing I haven't done. I got us our car. I got us our place. So we're set. We're going to the Super Bowl for sure. Then we'll be covering it. By the way, we'll be in Vegas this week. Okay, we're going to be doing our pre and post game show from Las Vegas on Sunday. Sean and I will fly out on Wednesday. We're going out for showtime, baby. And I can't wait, man. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to go cover the Canelo Jermell fight, Jermell Charlo. So Canelo and Charlo, in other words, fight. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's got a pretty cool undercard also. We're going to be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll be broadcasting from there. We'll broadcast 3 straight days, and it'll be starting on Thursday, just to kind of give you a heads up what's going on this week with the live show. Tomorrow, we're at Hialeah Park, because normally on Thursdays, but because we're going to Vegas, they're accommodating us, and we're going to be there on Tuesday. So tomorrow, we'll be at Hialeah 3 to 6. Then Wednesday, we're back on normal 10 to 1, 10 to 12, whatever. And then we're flying out in the evening. And then Thursday, Friday, Sean and I will be broadcasting late in the afternoon, probably around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, probably noon over there, 3 here. It's probably the time, because we're going to wait till there's people inside the media room to actually interview, because if we go in there early, I've done it before, you don't do any interviews, and then you don't really end up helping out Showtime and promoting the fight. And so we'll have our regular talk show, and then we'll, sprinkle in some of the interviews out there in Vegas, and we'll have some fun. This is going to be a week for definitely for Sean, because he's never been to a world championship boxing match, so he'll get to do that. That's another bucket list that he's getting to knock out on this. You're knocking out some bucket lists on this show, bro, right? Sports wise, he gets to knock off like Hall of Fame right here. I mean, how many times do you get to do this kind of? I'm so lucky that I got to do Marino and now Zach Thomas, to go there twice. I mean, most fans don't even go once to go see some of their favorite players from their favorite team, get inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So these are awesome experiences. And then we're going to do something that I've never done before. We're going to do our Dolphins pre and post game show from a Dolphins bar in Las Vegas. That's amazing. That's absolutely awesome to go do that. So we'll be at Tommy Rocker's in Las Vegas on Sunday. So we arrive in Vegas on Wednesday. Thursday, I will be in the first night of the U2 concert in the Sphere. So opening night in the Sphere, I'll be there watching the U2 show. I cannot wait for that, dude. That is going to be freaking amazing for opening night. And then Saturday, Sean and I will be in the MGM Grand Ballroom. No, actually, it'll be at the T-Mobile Center. That's probably where it's at. I'm sorry. And we'll be watching the Canelo Charlo fight. And then Sunday, we'll be broadcasting from Tommy Rocker's and getting you ready for the pre and post game show for the Dolphins and the Bills. And then we will fly home after that. So it's a loaded week. We're going to be rocking and rolling, and we're going to be covering everything for you, so you cannot complain. And appreciate all of you out there, as always, however you support our show, making a donation on the Super Chat, Cash App, or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. We get 100% of the donation there. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Visit our amazing sponsors like Perdomo Cigars. And speaking of Perdomo Cigars, Sean, let's give the Miami Dolphins a big, beautiful 30th anniversary Perdomo cigar. And yesterday, by the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention it. Let's give a victory cigar to the Miami Marlins, who won again yesterday, 6-1. They beat the Brewers 2 out of 3 in the series. They're still one game out of the wild card, but the fact that they're still in the wild card, I never expected this. This young bunch, continues to fight, and you got to love the heart and determination that they have shown. Give them a victory cigar. No victory cigar? No. University of Miami, they're back to boring the shit out of me. I love it, dude. I love it. And I mean that with, total love, okay? For those of you that are just tuning in, what I mean by is when the Canes are good, back in the day, and they're getting back to that now, they always beat up on the bad teams. The teams are supposed to beat up on. Remember, lately, the bad teams give you a game or even beat you. Embarrassing shit. And so now watching the Canes, they are dismantling, they are routing, they are just absolutely throttling the lesser opponents. And Temple is a lesser opponent, and you throttled them 41-7. So thank you, Mario Cristobal, for bringing back boring football, because boring football is really, really good, because that means you're good. So Mario Cristobal and the Canes, you get a victory cigar. All right. I feel like giving Inter Miami a victory cigar. They picked up a point on the road without Messi, without Busquets, without Alba. That was a huge point for them. They're still 5 points out, 5 games left. That was pretty huge. I know we can't give them a victory cigar, but I got to give them a little love, because that was a huge point for them yesterday, man. They are right there, dude. No tie cigars. We can't do that, Ray. We can't do that. You got to get a victory. But I feel like it. I'm close. But we can't. We got to hold off. It's got to be the dub. It's got to be the dub in order to get that victory cigar from Perdomo. Okay. Let's see. What a great day to take a flyer on the Dolphins W and chosen TD for plus 1,000. Yes. It's funny. How many people really started A-Chain? Most people never started A-Chain unless you're like in a 14, 16, 20 team league that you have so many teams that the talent is so thinned out that you are starting third and fourth backs on teams and things like that. But considering the day A-Chain had, most people had whoever had A-Chain probably had him on the bench. 99.9% of the people that had him in fantasy football probably had him on the bench. And the only people that started him are the people that have like no choice, because, rosters are so thin and they're in a 20-team league or some crap like that. And yeah, that gets pretty ugly in 20-team leagues. I did a 16-team league once years ago, and brother, that is I won it actually, but it was a challenge, dude. Wow, it was a challenge. Gordon Shumway, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, I was wondering, with the emergence of AVG, do you see Fangio doing something like Arnsberger did with Dewey in the 82 playoffs, put him in a rover role and do zone blitzes like Dewey and Bo used to do? I could see that. I mean, he's got that knack, man. I've been an AVG guy, as you all know, those of you that follow the platform since day one practically. I've been an AVG guy and wanting him to play in a big time way and get more playing time, because that's one thing that I've noticed about him. He's a playmaker, bro. He's around the football all the time. So yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But again, this is one of those things. Fangio's trying to feel out the process.
You know, I felt good for yesterday was Agba, because Agba had to fight the injury last year, and then now the emergence of AVG, which then starts to kind of limit what he can do. But then all of a sudden, Phillips goes out, opens up the door for Agba to get more reps, and he makes the most of it. And I thought that was super cool to watch Agba do his thing yesterday, man. I thought that was absolutely awesome, man. Anybody notice the clone of Mike McDaniel in the stands? Yes, that was he looked good too, man. He looked good. He looked a lot like Mike McDaniel with the glasses and everything. He played it off well. True Fin fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says Tua's playing the best football this year at QB. Tua might be playing the best football at QB in the NFL. Period. I'm not telling you he's the best QB. He's definitely one of the 3 best QBs in the NFL. It's Mahomes, and then I don't know who you want to compete with Tua. That's the way I'm looking at it. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. Tua is easily a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Okay? And enough with the Justin Herbert stuff, right? Are we done with that already? All the idiots with Justin Herbert, like, shut up, go in a corner. Okay? You just look at athletic ability. You don't really know what a quarterback actually is. Just want you to know that. All of you Justin Herbert lovers, enough already. Justin Herbert can't even hold to his jock. Just because he's an athlete doesn't mean shit to me. Oh, by the way, I'm still waiting for Lamar Jackson. When is he going to become a real passer? Sure. We'll wait. We'll all wait for that too. God bless. This is the best part of it, bro. Watching Tua stick it to people. Abner Nikahai, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App. Very nice of you. Cash Big O Show. Big O, it's Happy Aloha Monday again. Let's go. Damn right, Abner. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Radio host says Bills will be another statement game. We are for real. Well, that's exactly it. You are correct. This is the game this week that kind of puts the nail on the coffin. Okay? Because you're for real as a team already. You can tell that you've got it. That you should win most of your games this year. I had them at 12-5. Who knows? They might win more than 12. But you're going to win most of your games this year. You should, barring injury, of course, which can derail any season for any team. As you know, last year, that derailed the season for the Dolphins. The Dolphins should have had a better season last year, barring the injury. That's the only reason why they didn't have a great season last year. They're definitely not as good as they are right now, but they would have made some noise in the playoffs last year if they were healthy. There's no doubt in my mind that they would have figured some stuff out and they would have made some noise. But this year, brothers and sisters, this is the real deal. And the Buffalo Bills are the test. They're the test. You know how Tua's had to prove to people in hurdles. All right, stay healthy. Oh, prove that you have an arm. Oh, prove that you can run an offense. Prove that you can, all these kind of things. And all of the people that put those hurdles in front of him, that he's not a good enough athlete, that he can't throw off a platform, that he can't stay healthy, that he plays too much golf, whatever, all that kind of crap. And he's had to kind of do that, right? Mike McDaniel has had to prove that he can coach, that he can build a staff, that he can win, all those things, right? The Dolphins have been a terrible franchise for over a quarter century. And so now they've had to prove that they can draft, they can develop players, they can win, that they can put together a good roster, and that they can win on the field. And then they're winning on the field, and the next step is taking down your main opponents. And that's the Buffalo Bills. It's not the Patriots. Two already owns the Patriots. The Patriots are like they're like in the rear view mirror. They're so far behind in the rear view mirror. You know, it's over for Belichick. You know what I'm saying? He's, he proved whatever with Brady, and it's over for him. He can't win, so he's done. The Jets, with or without Rodgers, the Dolphins were going to beat the Jets. I was never worried about Aaron Rodgers, dude. Never worried about Aaron Rodgers. This was the same silliness with the Brooklyn Nets and our boy Ira Winderman, who was nervous as hell about the Brooklyn Nets. And I told them, you can't be nervous with Kyrie and Harden and Simmons and all the different kinds of clowns that were going through that organization. And so now you got to prove it in stages. And this is the final regular season stage. Because you're going to Buffalo and you're beating Buffalo in Buffalo. And you're now taking a 2-game lead on Buffalo. Actually, isn't it? You got to win again in the next one to make it a 3-game lead. Or no, it would be a 4-game lead at that point. Because it's the 3 games plus the tiebreaker. So it becomes even worse. But this is the final hurdle. Last year, you should have won all 3 games. All 3 should have been won by the Dolphins. They throttled the Washington Redskins this week. You throttled the Denver Broncos. The stage is set now at Orchard Park, and we're going to see what happens. I can't wait. As New Shoes would say. Baby, I can't wait. Let's see. Denver's got to fire Vance Joseph today, right? No. Who says Denver has defensive talent that is worthy of anything? Why? Because they got a corner? Hey, by the way, how did Pat Surtain's advice work for Junior? Because apparently it was reported yesterday. Pat Surtain, of course, blood is thicker than anything else. So, of course, you got to support your son. But it was reported that he gave some tips to his son on Tyreek Hill since he was on the staff last year. And then he was on the sidelines with them. So, Pat didn't help out. I can bust Pat's balls because I know him personally. So, if I see him personally, I would have fun with him personally on that too. Oh, man. They give you all the advice you want, dude. It's kind of like it's what Mike Tyson used to say. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And I gotta tell you something. Mike Tyson was 1,000% right. That's exactly the case. Everybody's got a plan, and then all of a sudden, whack! You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Well, that's a little harder than I expected. Yeah, this plan may not work now. True Fan says, Big O, in my opinion, this Dolphins team from top to bottom reminds me more of the 49ers regime from top to bottom, more than the greatest show on turf, GM, head coach, offense, defense. Yeah. I would say that, like the old Niners you're talking about. Yes, I would say that. Yes. No doubt. Not these Niners, the old Niners. Right. Well, the ones that have like a really, stud quarterback. Because Purdy ain't no stud quarterback. Purdy's a solid game manager. I give him that. That's about it. But you're talking about Montana and Young. Oh, you're talking about the guy that Tua looks like. Montana. Yeah. Now we got Boomer Esiason stealing my shit. Everybody's stealing my freaking material. The hell out of here. Y'all ain't allowed to ride my coattails. You got that Boomer Esiason? None of you all are allowed to call him Joe Montana. Okay? None. Don't be stealing my analysis. What's wrong with you all?
especially when I did it 2 years ago, not after the fact. These clowns come in late. Now, all of a sudden, they're Tua believers. All of a sudden, they think Tua's great. All of a sudden, Tua's phenomenal. Where were you last year and the year before? That's what I want to know. Man of 1,005 holds says, I was upset about not going for the record, but that post-game speech made me think differently. You know, I just put out a short because I think it's some that needs to be said. Okay. The record doesn't mean shit, dude. At all. Who cares? If it happens in the act of the game, great. I was trying to remember, Sean, do you remember there was a Heat player, man, I want to say it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago or something, and he ended up getting a triple-double, and he kind of got like a cheap rebound that he ended up hitting off a backboard or something, or I forgot how the story went, but he ended up getting a cheesy triple-double. And I remember the next day doing a talk show saying, yeah, but, you know, it was kind of manufactured. And it doesn't really mean much to me. You know what I mean? What means, this is my problem, okay? Let me show you my problem, okay? I want to show you my freaking problem with all of this. Because I think it's this fantasy football mentality that it just makes zero sense to me. And I don't know why people do this kind of crap. And you look at the Miami Herald today, okay? And the Miami Herald, let me see. I think I might be able, take the billboard off there for me, please, Sean. There. Okay, can you see it? Let me put the screen up. There you go. That's the front page. That's the front page. McDaniel explains why the Dolphins didn't try to set record for most points in an NFL game. So you possibly have the best team in the NFL, the second best team to the Niners in the NFL, and this is your focus. That's the front page story. You have the leading candidate for the MVP. That's your focus right there. You have one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. Your focus is on a stupid 3 points. Your running backs just ran for 350 yards. This is what you're talking about? Your team's 3-0. You're undefeated in the AFC, the entire conference. This is your focus. And the only reason the Miami Herald puts this in the front page, it's because it's your fault. Because there's too many of you worried about stupid shit like this, fantasy football bullshit, then you haven't had a team like this for over 40 years. This is what you're worried about? You haven't had a franchise quarterback since Marino walked out the door. That's what you're worried about? You haven't had a complete coach since Don Shula. This is what you're worried about? This is what you're complaining about. These are the same people that think Dalvin Cook is going to take them over the top. It's like you are never happy and you have every reason to be happy. If you're walking out of a game where you won by 50, where your quarterback put on a show, your offensive line, God bless those 6 guys this year. Because I got to throw Kendall Lamb in there. I know he wasn't in there yesterday, but all 6 of them have given you a glorious thing here. Your quarterback's been sacked once.
You have rushed for 565 yards in 3 games, even though you didn't want to rush in the first game. Okay? You wanted to pass and you wanted to make a statement in that game. You have averaged 6.1 yards a carry as a team. Listen to me again. You have averaged 6.1 yards a carry as a team. And this is the shit you're focused in on? Are you serious? You drafted a rookie in the 3rd round. The rookie went on to rush for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns on a mere 18 carries. He then also catches 4 for 30 yards and 2 more touchdowns. And this is your focus. I don't understand people, dude. It's this thing about just let's lean to negativity when there's a crap ton of positivity. We have a bouquet of positivity, a smorgasbord of positivity. And this is the sewage that's in the front page. We're worried about some stupid ass record that means nothing, that you're going to forget about years down the line, because what you remember is the performance. What you remember is the hook and ladder. You don't remember anything else. The Miracle in Miami, that's what you remember, the play. You're going to remember A-Chain's performance. It's not so much the record. You're going to keep remembering Mike McDaniel, who is a mad scientist. Brother, we had a coach talk so much shit about Tua last year that he said that Teddy Bridgewater was going to take his job. And then he backtracked right away, and that dude handed him a 50 burger yesterday. And this is what you focus in on? I would have rather had the front page, the drama with Sean Payton's face and his comments from last year and his comments from the game, along with Tua's comments and the storyline of how he talked a lot of shit about Tua. And I wonder if he's thinking that Tua right now is pretty damn good. That would have been my article in the Miami Herald, in the Sun Sentinel, in the Palm Beach Post. But I'm a different cat. I kind of talk about what's reality, what's here, what's now, not create this kind of bullshit. So, it just, I don't get it, dude. There will be plenty of times to be negative, but let it happen. Bill, rest in peace. He, when he started with me as a producer, one of the things that he learned about me right away was that I don't create controversy to create controversy. They do that on radio all the time, even our local radio, obviously. They do it in all the newspapers, all 3 local papers. They come up with hooks just to hook you because you live off this negativity. And then the news, they're not going to tell you about the firemen that saved the dog and the cat and the people and this and that. No, they want to tell you about the people that burned and died. And they want to tell you about the disasters and all that kind of stuff because that's what we gravitate to. You don't want to hear about good shit. You want to hear about what will piss you off. You know what it is to walk out of that game and have any anger? Unless you're a Broncos fan, then you should be all angry. You should be all embarrassed. Bronco fans, I feel your pain, bro. I'm a Dolphin fan. My last 25 years has been as painful as it gets.
So I feel all your pain. I've felt that pain in every way possible between Shula and McDaniel, between Shula and Chris Greer. Everything in between has been so freaking painful. But I'm not sitting here every day to tell you, well, hey, they're 3-0. Tua's kicking ass. McDaniel's awesome. The defense is getting better. The offensive line. Hey, but an ACL injury will change your game. Don't get too happy, Dolphin fans. An injury will hurt everything. Don't get too happy, Dolphin fans. One of your players may go hit their wives. Don't get too happy, Dolphin fans, because, like, really, dude? Like, you want me to start doing shit like that? You know, it's the running game didn't need a running back, but we wanted to create all offseason running backs. All these options, Mostert talked about it yesterday. And since the season started, do you need a running back? Do you think you need a running back? Are you convinced that you not only have a running back, but you have running backs? Like Jeff Wilson's out, and he was like your number 2 back last year. Ahmed's out. He was your number 3 back last year. So you're down to your 4th and 5th back behind your number 1. How did it work out yesterday? Oh, wait, let me check. He ran for 200 yards. Oh, wait, Chris Brooks, 9 for 66. Undrafted. I'm sorry. No, but let's create the negativity. Let's create the doubt. Even though the front office is saying, we're not desperate for running backs or offensive linemen. But everybody else has got to throw it on them. No, yes, you are. No, dude. We'll take anybody at low-hanging fruit. You want to give it to us? We'll take it. You want to give us Jalen Ramsey? Hey, man, we'll take it. People don't understand, but they want to create controversy. This shit in the front page, this to be a subject is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Seriously. We got a team like we haven't had here in decades, dude. I'm 57. Well, I'll be 57 on Sunday. I'm 6 days away, so I'm basically 57 already. And by the way, Dolphins, I need a Bills win. That's all I want for my birthday. Okay? That's it. The wife's giving me the U2 concert, so, you know. Wife gives me the U2 concert. Dolphins give me a Bills win. We're good. Beat the Bills, crush them. You don't have to crush them by 50. I'll take 49. Seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I've been trying. This is not, I got to repeat myself over and over again. Stop it already. Can you join me in reality? Can you enjoy this with me? You know what I'm saying? I've told you to enjoy the whole goddamn thing. Stop being negative. Stop finding negativity. I just don't understand it. I really don't. Great draft. Great offseason. Things have gone your way overall. You have a couple of injuries, but you're overcoming it. You have depth like you've never had before. You got a terrific coach. You got one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. Your defense is only getting better. Zach Thomas gets inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. My Lord, what more do you want? 3 points. Don't get it. William Quigley, thank you, sir. Buffalo will be the test. If this team is a good team or a great team, win, and we are instantly elevated. Amen? Amen. Amen. I'm with you 100%. Got to get it done. Todd Beards, by the way, the young fans want any accomplishment. Yeah. Young fans are the best fans. Yes, sir.
All right, 2 things. One, I saw an X yesterday, meaning a tweet, And I think
what?
it's the doubters, an X, whatever they're called. I don't know. What do they call the tweets? Whatever it is. I don't know. The X.
Keep saying tweet because I don't
All
know
right.
what
The tweet
the
yesterday. And I think it's more the doubters that had an issue with the field goal things, the doubters that doubt the Dolphins, because the exact quote on the, and again, it was a fan, so take it for what it is, but they're what they wrote was, when the Dolphins don't win the Super Bowl, at least we would have had the record to hold on to. That's what they put in there. But again, doubters.
Whoever thinks that way, you're a freaking loser, bro.
Exactly.
Who gives a shit about that record? Only a loser cares about that record. You know what I care about? Watching Sean Payton on the press conference. That was the most satisfying thing in the world, dude. That jackass, okay, because that jackass, I get it now. I get it now. Now I know why I have some anger for Sean Payton. And why is the same? I just realized where my anger comes also with Jimmy Johnson. Because that effing asshole sat there in his little perch on the TV booth and slammed Shula the entire time. And then his arrogance came here and told us that, I'm going to make it special. And you didn't make jack shit, dude. You got us embarrassed every time in the playoffs. You ruined Marino's final 4 years. So after running your freaking mouth, Jimmy Johnson, you did jack shit. And then you crapped on us by leaving us Dave Wanstead, you asshole. And so this asshole, Sean Payton, takes over and then just rips the former coach into oblivion. Then apologizes, just like he apologized for the two what's it called? Bridgewater comments. Too late, bro. I see your track record. You talk shit, and then you notice that you're an idiot, and then you got to backtrack. Too late. You're the idiot. I'm glad you got your ass kicked. That's what I want. That's my satisfaction, is watching him lose by 50. My satisfaction is, sadly, 62-7, and it ended Marino's career in the Dolphins, but the best part was Jimmy Johnson stuck his tail between his legs and walked the hell out of that press room without talking because he was a coward. So that's where I get satisfaction. Not the 3 points, the ass kicking and the karma that Sean Payton is facing. Thank you, Dolphins. Yes, sir.
And the second thing, was it Ricky Davis you were thinking about?
By the way, one day I'll tell you what I really feel about Jimmy Johnson. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Were you thinking of Ricky Davis? He was with Cleveland, but the Heat had passed up on him. That was the player that he shot at his own goal to get a rebound.
That's it.
Yep,
That's it.
At the opponent's goal. Sorry.
That's it. Did you get that, or did a listener get it?
I don't know if it was up there. They may have gotten it way before me. I was doing research. The only thing that came up was Ricky Davis.
It's Ricky Davis.
2003.
You got it. Definitely you got it. So, anyway, focus on the positive, man. We got so much going on. Do you know the party we're all going to have in Las Vegas? Do you have any idea the kind of party we're all going to have in Las Vegas? I mean, it's going to be amazing. So get your plane tickets, get the insurance so you can cancel if you have to, unfortunately, but get your hotel room or Airbnb like we did. Sean's going to learn his lesson in this trip. Oh, Sean. Oh, man. But hey, listen, great people at Showtime are hosting it, so it's awesome. But the walking you're going to do, Sean, oh my God. Yeah, you're gonna want one of those segways. Oh, man. Radio host says 25 for 58 and 0 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook through 3 games. Really? It's 25 for 58 in 3 games. Wow, dude, Dalvin Cook is averaging 2 yards a carry. He's so amazing, man. You know, Dalvin Cook really would have put the Dolphins over the top. Yeah, it's fantastic, that Dalvin Cook. That's going to be awesome. Big O, where's the watch party for the Bills game? Las Vegas. Tommy Rockers. We'll see you there. Okay? Brooks runs angry. Yes, I know. I love Brooks. I wanted to keep him on the team, and I'm glad they did. And, you know, then they've already used him. I mean, you were missing 2 backs yesterday. No problem. You were missing your number 2 receiver, which is the number 1 on a lot of teams, and you put up a 70 burger. You won by 50 without Waddle, without 2 of your backs, 2 of your top backs from last year, by the way. You know, just it's different. You won your first 2 games without Teron Armstead. It's different. This is a different team. You have depth, and the front page is about a stupid record. That's because you made it that. You forced the Miami Herald to do that because there's a lot of you worried about that stupid part of the game. The measly 3 points, not the amazing performances, the 3 points, not the 5 offensive linemen who have kept Tua clean, have been opening up amazing holes because they are blocking their ass off. You could tell me, hey, Tua's getting rid of it quick, so it's helping them out like Marino used to help out his line. That's fine. I've lived this. I know what this is. Marino and Tua are exactly alike in that sense. Yeah, I said that. Yes. Marino and Tua have the same thing. It's called a radar. They scan and make a decision like this, deliver it quickly and accurately with precision. That was what Marino did for a living for the entire career that he played in. And Tua has been playing like that since the beginning. No more holding on to the ball and looking around for that next big play. No. He's making a quick decision. Short pass, intermediate, deep, doesn't matter what it is. He's going through his progressions immediately and delivering. That's exactly what Danny did. Exactly to a T. Tua is exactly like Marino in that sense. They are identical twins. Just like Schwarzenegger and what's the short guy's name, bro? Damn it. From Taxi, Tony. What's his name? Not Tony. Damn it. The dude in the box.
Danny DeVito?
DeVito. Yeah, twins. Remember twins? Some of you may not remember, but Schwarzenegger and DeVito were twins. That's Marino and Tua. Okay, because I know you're going to use this size thing. And so, same thing. They're twins. Exact twins. They have that radar, bro, and they can decipher the field like that. They deliver the ball like that. Okay, not comparing the arms, not comparing the heights, not comparing the strength of the arm, because obviously Marino had a pretty strong arm. I'm not comparing the careers because one is established, the other one is starting. No, I'm comparing the radar, the decision making, the delivery, and the accuracy. Because that's see, the thing is, too many people are in love with the size, the speed, and the strength of the arm, which none of those things actually make you a great quarterback at all. Now, Marino had the size and he had the strength, but the problem was that everybody leaves out. He had the anticipatory skills, he had the ball placement, and he had the accuracy. That's the part that everybody leaves out. That's why Marino was Marino, because of those 3 things. The other stuff helps when you have those 3 things. A lot of DeVitos came in. Thank you. Thank you. Dougie Fresh says, McDaniel's not only coaching a team, he's coaching a portion of our fan base who has marinated too long in losers mentality. You know what? That's a great point. And it is very true. Sean Payne said Tua would be benched. Little did he know it would be in his own game. He put up 50 burgers. Said, I'm good. Sean, you good? You good out there, Sean? You all right with my 50? I'm going to take a rest. You have a great day. Yep, that was Tua yesterday. 50 burger, and I'm going to rest. I'm going to relax. My arm's a little tired. Big O, that comparison is so disrespectful. Brah, I'm sorry if you're not smart enough to pick up on it. You know what's disrespectful? Your lack of intelligence. And if you lack intelligence, brother, you're going to struggle on this show. Because the sports IQ of this show is higher than almost everything else that's in this town. Can't help you, my brother. Can't help you. When it comes to local sports, and especially the Dolphins, we play chess on this show. Most everyone is playing checkers. Let's get that straight. Okay? You may not like what I say, but eventually you're going to find out, holy shit, he was right. I'm not perfect, but more often than not, when it comes to the Dolphins, my brother, my batting record, I may embarrass every single Hall of Famer that's in the Hall of Fame for baseball because it's way better than any of those averages. So if you haven't followed this show for 30 years, you may not know, but, when we call it, we usually are pretty much on target. Same thing. It's all right, dude. When I called to a left-handed Montana a couple years ago, I was called a maniac, an idiot, a nutbag, all that. Now they're all stealing my line. It's all good, bro. It's all good. I get it, man. You're too emotional. Dan Marino's my favorite player, but it doesn't take me away from being objective. And Tua has the exact same radar that Marino has. Exact same radar. He makes a quick decision and delivery right away. Not comparing the release. I'm not comparing the strength of the arm. I'm not comparing the careers or anything like that. But if you're not smart enough to understand what we talk about on this show, you're going to struggle big time. Brian Diaz, A-Chain's power, vision, and balance, really impressive. Yep. But hey, don't forget, they need Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor will really put him over the top. Oh, God. Oh, they need Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley. Bad thing is the Tua haters are still there just hoping for, they can't wait for Tua to get injured or fail so they can jump out of the woodwork for sure. Big O's secret name is Capablanca. Did I compare Tua and DeVito? Well, you know what I meant by, right? You understand, right? Marino's taller than Tua. Schwarzenegger's taller than DeVito, but they're both twins, yet they don't look alike. Marino and Tua don't look alike, but they're twins. The radar makes them twins. They have the same radar. That's all. It was a fun comparison. You got to have fun with it. Let's see. And Brian Diaz, thank you for the super chat, sir. If memory serves me correctly, says Eros, Marino never had a huge arm. I believe the longest he threw in those QB challenges was 64, 65 yards. Brother, 64, 65 yards, but it was accurate. I'm sure if he wanted to just air it out, he could air it out farther. Was he John Elway? No. But John Elway, you're talking about like, a howitzer. Come on, man. He had a strong arm, dude. Trust me. I watched Marino, okay? I watched him in person, all that stuff. He had a strong arm. And you should go watch those QB challenges. In fact, Do you want to really have a lot of fun? Any of you out there, do you really want to have fun? Do you really want to laugh your ass off? Okay, I want you to go look at QB challenges, Dan Marino QB challenge, and watch him throw to targets. Okay, there's one that he throws that it's all the way in the back. It's the highest scoring one. It's a block that's moving too, and it's like, I don't know, 40, 50 yards away or something. And he throws it and he hits it on target. Then I want you to go put up Lamar Jackson quarterback challenge and then compare the two and watch Lamar Jackson miss everything. Kind of like he did yesterday. I'm still waiting for, what happened. I thought that he was going to become a great passer now. They were going to open it up and all that good stuff. And all he can do is throw behind receivers and be off target like he normally is. But don't worry, he's a great athlete. He'll wow you in a week or two with a game every once in a while. And then you'll get back on the bandwagon thinking he's a real quarterback. But if you really want to laugh, I'm serious. I am so serious. If you want to laugh your ass off, watch Dan Marino throw in a quarterback competition and then turn on Lamar Jackson. That is comedy at it. Seinfeld, Friends, Living Single, any of these funny type shows, they never come close to Lamar Jackson in a quarterback challenge. That, my friends, is comedy that Mel Brooks couldn't even invent. Hour number 2 is next. Marcel Louis-Jacques is up on deck.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins report with Marcel Louis-Jacques is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. Hey, they scored again. What's it now? 170-20 right now at this point. That was.
I think I heard the scoreboard operator at Hard Rock Stadium woke up last night in a panic, thinking they missed another touchdown. Their wife said, "Your finger was just doing this all night."
Right. Hey, don't you dudes sometimes get carpal tunnel from typing too much and shit like that, right? Don't you guys get some?
That man was in the training
That's what
room
happened
with
to the
ice
guy
on his
yesterday.
hands. That was quite a day, man. That was quite a day.
The sad part was how many fantasy players had A-Chain on the bench.
I did.
Yeah, no. Who the hell's going to start A-Chain? Unless you're like in a 20-team league. I did a 16-team league once, and brother, the talent is super thin in a 6. You're usually starting,
third backs and fourth backs as your second or flex. That's usually what happens with that, or third or fourth wide receivers as your flex and shit like that, So it's like really razor thin talent. That's the only leagues, the 16, 20 team leagues are the ones that might have had an A-chain as a flex or something like that, dude. And obviously would have won that entire game for you just by himself.
I was honestly worried because he scored once, and I was like, okay, because I thought, I drafted him, and then I thought I dropped him. So, he scores once, and I was like, okay, I could probably get him back. He scores twice. I was like, oh, there's no way, man. I think I'm third on the waiver wire right now. There's no way. He scores a third time. I was like, it's over, man. I go look at my team to see how bad the damage is, and there he was on the bench. I've never been so happy to have 50 points on my bench in my life. Like, obviously, he's not like RB1 for the rest of the season, but like, there's a role. There's a role.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, Van Ginkel has forced a role. Kendall Lamb, anybody falls off kilter, especially at right tackle, we might find a role. A-Chain, Wilson, Ahmed out. Well, there's a role. It's like you're going to have an opportunity in sports. And when that door is open, you need to kick it down. And you've got a couple of Dolphins that have kicked that door down when it's opened.
Yeah. That's football for you, right? That's the NFL. Like, Savon Ahmed had worked his way back into a role because of an injury to Jeff Wilson. And then Devon A-Chain just did the exact it sucks. It sucks. That's what happens when you play on the deep team. So happens playing deep team. It's unfortunate. But I think in multiple leagues, I'm in 3. In multiple leagues, I played against the combination of Tua and Mostert in the same. So honestly, it was fine because I didn't have to stress. I wasn't like, okay, I need 34 points from CeeDee Lamb and then this and this. I was just like,
it's over.
Oh, I lost. Okay, let me enjoy my Sunday then. Fuck this. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, it was fine. Like, it wasn't fine. It sucked a little bit. It sucks. You always want to win, but
but they tear the scab off for you. It wasn't like a slow pain thing. It wasn't a slow kill. It was over already. So that's it. You can move on at least. You can turn the page.
In one league, I was playing against Tua, Mostert, and Keenan Allen.
Oh, okay.
Keenan Allen went 18 for 220 yesterday for the record.
Yeah.
So it was I was like, that's fine. I had a lot of work to do anyways. I got my writing done. I thought everything I put out yesterday was good. I don't often brag about my work or talk about myself like that, but I put out quality content yesterday. Came home, had a nice dinner with Haley, watched the game a little bit, folded some clothes, did some laundry, work around the house, hung my calendar up, finally my whiteboard calendar in the office, so I know what's going on every day. I thought I found the workaround. I thought, by putting everything in my phone that I would automatically see it. But I get so many dumb emails and worthless texts and this and that I naturally block things out. And I have to remind myself, no. Pay attention to that. It goes off, tweet notification. It goes off every day. But either way, I'm getting off tangent here. The point is, fantasy sucks.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm with you. The offensive line, I don't think we're all talking enough about the offensive line. Not only have they kept Tua clean, but brother, this team has rushed for 565 yards on 93 carries, and they are averaging 6.1 yards per carry. They are freeing up their running backs from that offensive line and allowing them to make the moves in the second level, and it's up to them at that point. But what the job the offense, well, actually, sometimes some of the guys are going to the second level at times and picking up some blocks too and helping out. But the job of the offensive line, Marcel, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, you thought this thing was good without Teron Armstead. Exactly what you thought happened when Teron Armstead rejoined the lineup. it got even better. It got even better. And again, a lot of this is due to, we're seeing a lot of the same looks, a lot of the same offense that we saw at the beginning of last season, which are these kind of like one read, quick hits. And, people might want to criticize Tua by saying, he's only using his first read. He's not going through his progressions. There's a difference between not going through your progressions and not having to go through your progressions. He hasn't had to go through his progressions. Who cares if he's only making one read, if that one read has always been open? Like, you want me to say, oh no, like just to keep myself fresh, let me go through my third, fourth, and then check that. No, like these guys are so open, man. All right, so like it's a combination of the two. Like, the Dolphins' pass block win rate last season was middle of the pack. It wasn't awful. It wasn't excellent. It was middle of the pack. But their sack rate was very low. I think 9th lowest in the NFL. So like, I'm not surprised that Tua's not being tackled right now. I'm not totally shocked that he's not being pressured, but he's also holding up his end of the bargain by getting that ball out fast. And a lot of that is him processing quickly. And a lot of that is scheme and coaching from Mike McDaniel. Again, like I've said it before on the show, we in this sports society, we are way too willing to put all our chips on one thing. Like, he's only good because it has to be the receivers. It has to be the coaching. It has to be this. With Brady and Belichick, it has to be Brady. No, it had to be Belichick. We are not willing enough to say it's a combination of everything. It is a perfectly cooked meal. You know what I mean? Like, when you cook, you don't just say like, oh wow, it was the garlic that did it. Like, oh man, like
you just have to excel on your end. In order for the cake to be cooked or baked, you need to excel on your end, right? So your ingredient has got to be exceptional. So yeah, the play calling has got to be great, and it is. The quarterback play has got to be great, and it is. The offensive line play has got to be great, and it is. And the running backs, it's got to be great, and it is. So it's a combination of everything, but everybody's ingredients have to be good in order for it to come out the way it's come out for 70 points. When you're winning 17-15, that's because all the ingredients aren't necessarily good ingredients. All of a sudden you're sticking in some Hyde Park stuff and some fake brands and shit, and you're adding some sugar replacements, whatever they're called.
You couldn't,
it's
the nameless, the brandless packs of sugar. You're just ripping it open and tossing it. I get it, but like I said, like it's even if it's a good cake, you don't eat the cake and say, "Wow, these are some damn good eggs." Wow, this is the flour here is just really carrying the weight. No, you just enjoy the damn cake. Like that's all I ask for people in the sports. It's just enjoy the cake sometimes. It's okay. Yeah. It tastes good. The Dolphins are a damn good cake right now. It's not just one ingredient's fault. It's like you said, a bunch of quality ingredients working together with a damn good recipe. Like that's all we are right now. That's all we're looking at right now. That's where we're at. So like, yeah, again, that is a sports gear grinder of mine where people just try to say like it's this, it's that. Like, so yeah, the offensive line has been good. They're like the icing. They are the flour here. If Tua's the eggs, and I don't know what all goes into cake besides eggs and flour, man. Like y'all are gonna have to help me out here. I'm not a baker, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Like they're one ingredient in what's overall been an excellent recipe and a therefore excellent dish. And it doesn't work without the other. Their protection doesn't work without Tua processing and getting the ball out quickly and making smart decisions. It doesn't work without McDaniel scheming guys open. It doesn't work without receivers getting open and making things happen after the catch. It is just it's what they call, in a much shorter winded way, complementary football. That's what it is.
Well, hey, listen, you look at Mostert and A-Chain, but then Brooks comes in and he goes 9 for 66. So including that 52-yarder, obviously, but it's everybody having success. And that's been the impressive part, because if A-Chain's healthy, he's played well. I'm sorry, Ahmed's healthy. He's played well. Last year, Jeff Wilson, the line wasn't as good last year as it is right now, but still, he was very productive. He had over 4.5 yards, a carry. That's that's the thing. I want to give the offensive line, because they have been so maligned. We have ripped them so much. They deserve a lot of love for the success that the Dolphins are having. That's all.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I do agree. And this all comes back to Chris Greer. Remember what he keeps saying?
Yep.
I think y'all are more worried about it than we are. Like, they were confident that coaching takes over. They're confident in development, and that coaching can make up for whatever deficiencies they had in the past. It can speed up development. It can get guys closer to their potential. And yeah, that's what we're seeing. They made a critical move this offseason in letting Matt Applebaum go, bringing in Butch Berry, so that Frank Smith can focus his attention more on the offense as a whole and less on that offensive line. He still hangs out around the offensive line group, but it's nowhere near as much as he did last year at practice. Last year at practice, you could have been, if you didn't know better, you'd think Frank Smith was offensive line coach. Based on what we saw during position drills, he was always right there. And because of that, we're seeing this offense kind of thrive more as a whole, because there are more minds going into expanding it. And it's little moves like that, man. Little moves like that can make a world of difference.
When we talk about proving, you normally have to go through stages, right? And in life, you go through elementary, then you go through middle school, and then you go through high school, and then you go through college, and you go through the different levels of education, and it gets harder, but you're proving yourself as a human being. And, Tua's had to prove himself as a player, whether he can win, whether he can run an offense, whether he can stay healthy, all the stuff that people have questioned, he's had to prove. So has Mike McDaniel had to prove whether he deserves this opportunity, whether he can hang at this level, whether he can win, build a staff, all those things, offensive line, all of that. So there's stages. So the Dolphins are in the middle of a stage right now. They've been a pretty mediocre franchise for about a quarter century. They haven't been able to build a team. They haven't been able to find a quarterback. They haven't been able to find a front office, a head coach. Looks like they found all of that. Now they're starting to win. Now they're starting to prove that they're elite. You covered the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
Just the team last year, I thought they should have won all three. But is this team now ready? Have they built up enough? Have they gone through the stages to beat the Buffalo Bills on Sunday?
Yeah, you know why Miami is always a good they're a good match, especially this Mike McDaniel version, is because the one way, I've been saying it for years, the one way you can beat this Bills team, you're not going to go over the top on them. You're not going to do it. I think they hit on one of those passes. Miami hit on one of those passes last year. Two, if you include the Jalen Waddle one against DeMar Hamlin and Jaquan Johnson, neither of whom are seeing the field when that team is healthy. But you can nickel and dime, and you can break off a big play after the catch or on the ground. We've seen Breece Hall break off a few against them in his career. We saw Tyreek Hill with the Chiefs break off a couple memorable long catch and runs. Like, that kind of stuff is possible. They don't have great overall team speed on that defense. They are very well coached, and they are talented. They have high-end talent at essentially every level. But they don't have good team speed, and some things you just can't scheme for. Some things you can't coach against. So, yeah, I think right now with the speed at every single position, and it's not just speed. I think I'm trying to remember who it was this morning on Get Up. It was either Damian Woody or Ryan Clark or Rex Ryan. I don't remember which one of the three, but they made a great point today. The Dolphins don't just have fast players. They didn't just go out and get a track team. You know what I mean? They didn't go get pace merchants, as they say, across the pond. They got good football players who are also hella fast. Raheem Mostert is a good football player who also runs a 4.3. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are good football players who also run 4.3s. Like, it's not like they just have got like respectfully. AJ, good football player who runs a 4.27. Like, Robbie Anderson, Robbie Chosen is a fast player. I'm not going to sit here and say like he's a dominant football player. He's obviously good enough to be in the NFL. He's not a top tier NFL player. I say it as respectfully as possible. But that's if I'm looking for an example of like a pace merchant who can use that talent, and every now and then it's going to burn you, like they saw yesterday. It's going to burn you if you underestimate it. But like Robbie ain't out here chopping you up for 8 catches, 9 catches. There's the difference. So they have good football players who are also hella fast. And I think that is a mismatch against any defense. What I am interested in here, I saw linebacker Terrell Bernard's comments about how they schemed against Sam Howell. And they had Sam Howell in hell yesterday. They had Sam Howell in hell yesterday, because they knew he was inclined to lock onto his first read, and he hangs on to the ball too long. So I am sure, and this is something that greater minds than me are going to plan for, I am sure Buffalo is going to disguise a lot of coverages at Tua and make him think that certain windows are there that are not there. Like I think it's maybe a safe bet. It's a safe bet to say he might get baited into a throw or two come Sunday. He might get baited into a throw or two come Sunday, but we are going to see whether or not we're going to see just how advanced he has become at progressing through his reads, because Buffalo is not going to allow that first read every single time. There's a reason Tua has struggled against that defense, over the past 5 years, and it's because they excel at taking that first read away. So, that's interesting, but another matchup, I know I'm kind of going on about this thing, but it's my favorite week of the season. My mentions are always a joy, and it's always a good game. But the one match that I really can't wait to see is Raheem Mostert against Buffalo's run defense. If you remember last year, he went, I think it was 17 carries for 126 yards, 136 yards.
Kill him.
I mean, he gassed them before they
abandoned it.
They
abandoned it.
And they took a game-winning field goal, took a last-second field goal for Buffalo to win that game. Mostert was not healthy during that playoff game. It makes you wonder, if he was healthy, would they have had a ground game to kind of stand on and take some pressure off of Skylar Thompson? The world may never know. Either way, Mostert is healthy and playing the best football of his career right now. And then
that second game, McDaniel pissed me off when he abandoned the run. They were gouging them, bro. They were killing them with the run, bro. And then Braylon Sanders also pissed me off because threw him a touchdown, a deep ball touchdown, and the youngster stopped. And if he would have just kept running like a deer, the ball would have been right in his hands, bro. But they made Tyreek dropped a touchdown, and Craycraft on the no, it wasn't Craycraft, it was the other guy that's not here.
Sherfield
and Tyreek on the same possession, on the same drive, on the same red zone, same 4 downs. They both dropped a touchdown in that game, and Braylon Sanders also dropped a potential touchdown. Plus, McDaniel abandoned the run. There were several things.
Again, McDaniel made mistakes last year, but like a lot of these mistakes, they're just like they're your first year coach, your first year head coach.
Yeah. Well, remember, not just first year head coach. He's first year head coach / offensive coordinator. Bro, that's some huge ass responsibility to be the head coach. And normally veteran coaches do that kind of shit. Veteran head coaches, not a youngin like that, bro. That's a lot of
which is why again, like I said earlier in the conversation, which is why they go out and hire a Butch Berry so that Frank Smith can take some of that load off, and you're starting to see him in his back. What did I tell you on when was I on Friday? I know we had some technical difficulties, some technical issues, but audience, I know y'all heard it loud and clear.
You heard it. I didn't hear shit. You heard it.
I said Mike McDaniel was about to cook Sean Payton. I had a feeling in my gut. Sometimes you can't explain it, but I said Mike McDaniel is about to cook this team and that dinosaur in Denver. Like there was no way that archaic scheme in Denver. They weren't talented enough. They're not well coached enough. And Mike McDaniel is too hot right now. That it was a recipe for disaster for the Broncos. I didn't think they were going to hang 70 points. But, like, you're starting to see, you're seeing him in his bag a little bit. You're like, he's the best coach in the NFL right now. He's the best offensive play caller in the NFL right now. Again, you're starting to see it. I don't remember what we were talking about directly before this. I know I had a point before I got off on this other tangent. But
there was some stuff that we were talking about. Let me ask you this again. I'll ask you a completely unfair question. Well, it's not fair because they don't tell you anything. So I kind of know what the answer is, but I got to ask it anyways because people want to know. Craycraft, Wilkins, and Phillips, do you know anything? Did you see anything in the locker room?
I did not see any of them in the locker room. I think I maybe caught a glimpse of Jalen Phillips, or I thought I caught a glimpse of Jalen Phillips, and it ended up being Cameron Good sitting in that corner where the linebackers, the outside linebackers are. McDaniel did not have any update about them after the game. We talked to him in about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, and I'm sure that we will have more. I would expect Jalen Waddle to be cleared by Wednesday's practice. Like I would expect Jalen Waddle to be cleared of concussion protocol by Wednesday's practice. It was a good sign for him to be able to get back out in the field in limited fashion on Friday. Obviously, if there's any team in the NFL that's going to play it safe with head injuries right now, it's going to be the Miami Dolphins, man. As soon as he wasn't on the field on Thursday,
last week he was never going to play because that's been their MO, dude. That's just kind of the way. Armstead could have played last week. They know he could have played last week, but they brought him along slowly and they said, all right, let's see how your body reacts. And now this week we'll get you the playing time because we want you ready for Buffalo. And they have slow walked everything, dude. Everybody, Jeff Wilson, they say, you know what, bro, we're not pushing it. Get on the IR. We'll see you in 4 weeks. Ahmed, they have depth now, which is also a thing that you don't really have to necessarily push people or you desperately need them. You have somebody else that actually can step in and do a serviceable job for you.
You do. I remember what I was going to say. The yards of separation. Buffalo has one cornerback right now. They spent a first-round pick on basically their version of Noah Igbinoghene last year on Kyrie Elam, who can't see the field over their 5th-round pick out of a Division II school. Out of respect to him, like I think he's from Villanova. You don't think football. Football's like the ninth thing that comes to mind when you mention Villanova. But Christian Benford can play ball. He's not a top 32 corner in the league. He might be a top 60, top 50, but the yards of separation yesterday, man. Tyreek Hill, 3.5. 3.5 is that's good. That's open in the NFL. It's open in the NFL. It's not wide open, but it's an open throw in the NFL.
Yeah.
He was 5th on the team in average yards of separation yesterday. 5th. You got Durham Smythe at 4.3 yards, Raheem Mostert at 4.7, Braxton Berrios at 4.9, Devon Achane at 6.9. I know a couple of those are running backs, and so, it gets skewed a little bit. But, I mean, it's – when guys are getting that open, dude, it's – there's just so much to take away from this game. I told my editor when we were talking stats after the game, those carnival games where, like, you stand in like an enclosed tube and they use like a leaf blower or some sort of blower, and they shoot dollar bills into the tube. And the game is grab as many bills as you can before a time runs out. That's what it feels like looking at this Dolphins offense and their offensive performance from yesterday. Like everywhere you look, like everywhere around you, it's like they're the first team in NFL history to have 350 through 50. First pair of running backs to score 45 fantasy points. First team since 1966 to drop 70. Like, there's just so much to take away from that. I see a comment saying, I've never seen Marcel so hyped. Like, I've never had so much to talk about in my life. I've never had so much to talk about. I wrote 3 stories yesterday. I could probably still write another 2.
And by the way, for Steven, let me see, because I saw it. I don't think Steven understood you at all, and he was wrong. He says, wow, Marcel sounds like a Buffalo beat writer, that he's excited, and you're excited because of the rivalry and the shit that's going to go on in your DMs back and forth. Kind of, you may want to that.
Dude, I'm not going to sit here.
About the
pills or something, and that's
Hey,
not.
look, I'm not going to sit here. I've been here for 2 years. My work speaks for itself. What I said, I speak for. But like, if after 2 years, like, I'm not going to. If I haven't changed your mind, if I haven't made you think that I'm not some Buffalo home fan plant, I don't care. I don't care anymore. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I'm not happy to go back to Buffalo. I lived there for 2 years. Like, I've never lived in my career. I've lived in 2 places for more than 1 year. Miami in South Florida and Buffalo. Like, it's always going to mean something. Like, I like the city. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't. I don't need to lie to impress you guys for that. But I cover this team objectively. I'm not a fan of either one of them. And again, my work speaks for itself. I'm excited to go see my friends. I'm excited to go hit a couple restaurants that I came to love over the past 2 years. That's that, man. Like, if you can't get past that, you can't get past that. But
No, I get it. Makes sense.
I don't feel the need to sit here and lie and pretend like I hate Buffalo so much. I hate everything about this city. Like, burn Western New York to the ground. Like, no, dude, I have nothing against Buffalo. I like the damn city.
If you end up living somewhere for a while, you're probably going to end up picking up things and liking some people and making friends and things like that. That happens.
Yeah, look, man, I have enough. I don't want to say pull, because that's like, that makes me sound more important than I already am. But like, I have enough control, I think, over my career that I'm not going to live somewhere for 2 years if I hate living there. I'm not going to live there. I'm not going to live somewhere for 2 years if I absolutely hate it. Like, there were times, plenty of times, I wanted to leave Buffalo, and obviously, I did leave Buffalo. I can't do I can't clean snow off my car in the winter, bro, or in May, bro. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it blows my mind to this day. I said it while I was there. I'll say it again. It blows my mind how normal people think that is. It's no big deal. It's just a light dusting. It's May. It's May. I got friends at the beach. I got friends having pool parties. What do you mean? This isn't normal. Like, you know, like how Amish people, when they turn 18, they do Rumspringa. Like, they take like a year or two off. I was like, some of y'all can just take like a year or two away just to see like what spring is like in California, what spring is like in Texas or the northern states. So feel 65, 70 degrees in the spring and then come back to me about snow in May. Like, that's insane. But either way, city's got a lot of great qualities, man. Like, I understand the rivalry. I understand it. They're like, I mean, perfectly built polar opposites, right? Like, between like a blue collar Buffalo and like kind of a white collar, relaxed beach, cool South Florida. Like, they couldn't be more different. They're perfectly suited. I can't think of another rivalry that's more perfectly suited, to not like each other, to clash, than Buffalo and Miami. But like, every city's got its good qualities. Both cities got their bad qualities. Like,
no doubt about that.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm not excited to go see my friends, dude. Like, that's not something.
It's understandable.
This is my job, dude. Like, it's not my life,
dude. I've been to Indianapolis and Mobile so much in the last 20 years that I've gotten to know people in both towns, and I didn't live there. It's just I'm there for 1 week. And because I've been there for 1 week for 20 years, you get to know people. And so every time you go back, you get to go say hi to people you haven't seen in a while and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, you make friends when you go on the road. I did work in San Francisco for a short time and do know a few people there, but it was too short. It was only 6 months.
I feel that. Like, there are cities. I lived in Lake Havasu City for actually, like, I lived there. That's the third city. I was mistaken. I've been 3 places more than a year. I lived in Lake Havasu for a little less than 2 years. I will never go back. I will never go back. I, from the pit of my stomach, hated my experience there. And that's when I had no control over my career. No control. I took a lower paying job in Texas just so I could leave Lake Havasu City. In my life, that city, from my balcony, I had a cool apartment. From my balcony, I could see California. So on the border of Arizona and California, the lake is the border, kind of like Lake Tahoe is between California and Nevada. I could see California from my balcony. That's how close we are to the perceived most liberal state in the union, right? I saw more big Confederate flags flying on the back of trucks in Lake Havasu City than I did in 2 years living in North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yep.
So the first state to secede from the Union had fewer Confederate flags flying than Lake Havasu City. The state of Arizona wants to be Southern so badly because the South technically annexed the land, I think, south of Tucson. Like, there are Confederate monuments in that state for no reason, dude. For no reason. Like, it's one of those cities where, like, people don't leave. There's the closest city is 45 minutes south and an hour north. So people don't leave. So you think the same things generation after generation after generation. Like, the language I would see some of these kids using, bro, like the hate speech was like, this is why you're not allowed to vote until your brain develops, man. So yeah, dude, like, good people in that city, don't get me wrong. I will never go back. I appreciate the support a lot of them still give me. If they're still listening to this, thank you guys. You know who you are. But, like, I mean, shoot, bro. There's a parent that used to call me that colored reporter in Lake Havasu City, bro, in 2015. Like, no. There are cities that, like, you leave and you leave them behind, and you're like,
I can imagine. Mateo is asking, thank you for the love in the super chat, but it's not he says, would you trade White back to the Jets? First of all, they're not trading White, and they're not helping the Jets, bro. So, and they're going to keep White just because they may need him. So you can stop with all that silliness. All right, let's move forward here. What'd you think of Tua's no look, bro? I
tweeted right after it. I was like, bro, no look, offhand, like, they're going to score 50 today. They scored 50 and I undersold it. I underestimated it. No, that is feel for the field. That is good practice. What did McDaniel say? He's executing things to a standard that is relentless. So, like, that was that's what that is, man. And good on A-Chain for, after the catch. I feel like everybody was so focused on the shovel itself that the actual run isn't getting enough attention. I know it was 4 yards, but the guy made somebody miss with every step. Like, he was a lot stronger of a runner than I think people gave him credit for a 4.27
great balance.
Type of guy. Between him and Mostert, like, both of those guys, they run hard for how fast they are. So, man, that was cool. But it was that moment where, like, you say, oh my God, like, they're doing whatever they want. They're going to do whatever they want today. It's the second game in a row. No, it's not. It's the third game in a row where the Dolphins offense has essentially done whatever it wants. And the only reason why that game, the Chargers game, wasn't a 2-score win is that fumble in the red zone on the first possession of the season. Right. Yeah. But, like, let's not forget, on 2 occasions, they marched into, like, the Chargers 5-yard line. Like, it was.
They've been able to move.
Has been unstoppable through 3 games. Like, now it was unstoppable last year through 3 games as well, more or less. Even that Bills game, the numbers don't look good.
This is different than last year. This team is running better than last year. Everybody is way more comfortable in the offense. You can tell Tua knows the offense like the back of his hand now at this point. This is a different team. They are going to be able to move the ball on both.
They are way better suited to run the ball this year than they were last year. Because if you remember those first 3-4 games of the season, who was RB1? Chase Edmonds.
Right, yeah.
Chase Edmonds. Raheem Mostert wasn't healthy yet, wasn't really getting that bulk of the carries, so I believe week 6-ish, week 7. So, like, they're better suited to run the ball. They've got the horses now. I only bring that up because now 3 games are on tape. 3 games are on tape, and you're facing the best defense that you played this season. Like, there's not necessarily a blueprint to stop you, but there is an example of what you need to stop. There's no uncertainty there. Like, 3 games in, we're going to start to see counters from other defenses, from other teams. So I want to see what kind of counter Buffalo has to this. What kind of counter? I mean, the Giants and Panthers aren't going to do anything. But the Eagles in 4 weeks, like, what kind of counters are we going to see from these good defenses? That's I think ultimately, like, it's going to help.
The Bills have the corners to hang with Tyreek and Waddle.
You don't have the corner. They have one. They have Tre'Davious White, who can be beat. He's a guy. He's not an uber athlete, but he's technically sound. one of the most technically sound corners in the NFL. They don't have the corners, plural. They have the safeties.
Safeties, yes.
They do
Safety, I
have
know
safety.
they're solid at safety, but I think corners, I think the three receivers, including Barrios, is going to give them problems. I really do.
I think, the name to watch, I mentioned him earlier, Terrell Bernard, the fourth round pick out of Baylor last year. Big game for him in the middle of the field this week. He's going to be an X factor here. And I feel like that's if the Bills defense's goal is push Tua past that first read, make him hold on to the ball, then the Dolphins' goal has to be to figure out how to exploit Terrell Bernard in the middle of the field. That is where a lot of Miami's damage comes from right now, like these in-breaking routes and these crossing routes. Like that's where they do a lot of their damage. Him being in the middle of the field, him and Matt Milano, their job is to sniff that out. Miami's job is to figure out how to exploit them, how to get them off their game, how to get them off balance. So like there's just I'm excited about this game because there's just so many like matchups and little X factors to watch for. Way more so than Denver, way more so than New England. So it should be a game that gets Dolphins fans excited. It should be a game that gets Bills fans excited. It's a good game. There's only me and Adam Beasley were talking about this yesterday. There's like 4 good teams maybe in the AFC right now. Maybe. Okay. 3 good teams in the AFC, do we want to call it? Because I don't know what to think of the AFC North right now. I don't know what to think of the AFC North right now.
Well, the Bengals should be, but they're right now not. They're not playing.
Because Joe Burrow's not healthy. Joe Burrow's not healthy, and for some reason, he still might play. Despite his number one receiver telling the world this man's not healthy, he needs to sit. Hey, by
the way, how come they're not saying he's he might miss more games than Tua does in the pros?
It should be. I think he's had more overall success, and that's giving him like kind of like a blanket.
Oh no, yeah, he took he took the Super Bowl, of course. No, I'm not comparing the talents. I'm just saying he has his injuries too. It's like they only want to mention Tua, but it's like, hey, there are other guys that also miss too, and he's struggling. Miami,
Kansas City, and Buffalo.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's say find me. I don't even think it's 4.
No, there is
3 good teams in the AFC right now, and we're about to watch 2 of them play.
Baltimore, no. Jacksonville is not playing up to snuff. That might have been
routed by Houston. That's no.
Chargers are definitely not it. Raiders aren't, and neither are Broncos. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's Dolphins, Bills, and Chiefs are the 3 teams in the AFC. Yes, I would agree with that. And then the NFC, it's Philadelphia.
It's Philly, San Francisco.
Philly and San Francisco. That's it.
And to tell the truth, I don't care about any team. And Dallas, like I'm not going to let one loss.
I don't believe in Dallas.
Define
I've
Dallas.
never believed that with Trayvon Diggs or without Trayvon Diggs, I don't believe in Dak Prescott. I just don't. I never will. He's going to have to prove me wrong.
I don't love Dak. And I don't love Dak and put them in a tier below San Francisco and below Philly. The Niners are on a tier of their own. Niners are on a tier of their own. Philly is right behind that. Dallas is right behind that, and then it's the rest of y'all. Then it's the rest of y'all.
Yeah, but I just can't trust Dallas, bro. There's nothing. Look, yesterday, what does Trayvon Diggs have to do with losing yesterday to the Cardinals, bro? Are you kidding me, dude? The Cardinals. They're tanking, and you lost to them. No, dude. No. That's typical Cowboy right there. By the way, didn't you grow up a Raiders fan?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Robbie Chosen is a poor man's James Jett.
Okay. I think James Jett was a little before my time, but okay.
Yeah. You're a little bit young, but maybe you do a little homework there and look up.
Robbie Chosen is a more accomplished Darius Hayward-Bay.
Oh, God,
more accomplished.
Yeah. Darius Hayward-Bay had no hands, bro.
Yeah,
my God,
more accomplished.
That's not Robbie Chosen's. Don't do that to Robbie Chosen.
A more accomplished, more consistent Darius Hayward-Bay. Maybe closer to like a.
He's more of he's a better Brashard Perriman. How about that?
I can see Rashad Perriman because I don't think either of them wear gloves. I think that was the tightest thing that Robbie Chosen does. Is
I
like
think
he
it's
doesn't
more
wear gloves.
complimentary to call him a lesser James Jett, actually, because James Jett was a nice player for the Raiders. He was a blazer dude. I mean, he could stretch the field with the best of them, but that's what he was. That's what, and he also was a good special teamer, which is something Robbie really doesn't do. But James reminds me, like Robbie reminds me of a poor man's James Jett, actually. Poor man.
I think like I'm pondering the Hayward Bay Chosen one because like they both have their flaw. Like Davis Hayward Bay couldn't freaking catch.
Yeah, but that's
and
bad.
Robbie Chosen is not consistent. Either way, like the result is the same, but Robbie has done more early in his career, hence the more accomplished. They're both fast as hell, though.
Yeah, that's why I give him James Jett, because James actually did some stuff and helped out the Raiders. He was a productive player, you know what I mean? And Robbie's had his moments where he's productive, bro. He's been solid. He's done some stuff at least. He's kind of one-dimensional, but you know, that's what was James Jett.
I hate one-dimensional, dude. I hate like there's a reason I'm not a Raiders fan anymore. Part of it is because I work in the league now, and it's hard to turn the switch off to like being a fan. That's why like I always laugh at the Dolphins Bills homer allegations, because like it's actually I don't have the bandwidth to be a fan and a reporter, dude. Like I really don't. But they beat it out of me. They beat the fan out of me. Picks like Jamarcus Russell over Calvin Johnson, or Darius Hayward Bay over Michael Crabtree. Like,
and you know,
McDaniel,
this guy's a clown, and the guy they have now is a clown. The head coach now, McDaniels. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
They're locked in on him. They can't afford to let him go. Actually, I just found a good one. Robbie Chosen, poor man's Jeremy Maclin, to make it a little bit more modern.
Okay, all right.
To make it a little bit more modern, you know,
okay.
for the youths.
Okay, I like that.
Poor man's Jeremy Maclin.
I like
He's
that.
Good. He's fast.
Yeah. That's not a bad comparison.
I would actually argue that. I would argue they have probably similar stats.
Yeah, no. I like that comparison. That's pretty good. They're actually closer to each other than James Jett is to Robbie Chosen. So, because James Jett was a decent player, where Robbie Chosen been, up and down, but he does have a lot of James Jett in him. He just reminds me a lot of the speed guy on the outside, and if you let him go, you might be able to hook up with him a couple times. All right, what do you got going on? I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was saying, actually, I was disrespectful to Jeremy Maclin. He had a lot better run. He had a lot better run than I remember. He had a lot better run than I remember. But that's why we said poor man. That's why we say poor man.
Right. Poor man. What do you got going on ESPN so folks can check you out?
I actually just got an email today. I think I'll be on SportsCenter today in the 6 o'clock hour to try to make sense once again of what the hell we just saw on Sunday night. Got multiple stories up on ESPN.com right now. One recapping the game as a whole and that locker room, the sentiment coming from that team's leaders, and as well as the three biggest takeaways. And that's one, I think that everybody should go ahead and read before we get into the week. Three biggest takeaways from Sunday, and kind of spinning them forward to how that matches up against what they'll see in Buffalo. But I'll end this with my favorite quote that it made it into the story. But I can tell y'all the background of it. I talked to Bradley Chubb for a story I wrote on him last week, right? I was like, dude, you were on that Broncos team where Tua was benched in the fourth quarter. Like, how much have you seen him grow since then? He's like, man, that's night and day, man, to be honest with you, because, back in 2020, we, the Broncos, felt like if Tua was in the game, we were probably going to win. We probably had a good chance of winning. He's like, it sounds crazy, but like that was the case. It was true. And so I didn't use that quote, but like I held on to it. I felt like it was perfect after yesterday. So I went back up to him in the locker room. I said, hey, look, man, I don't know if you remember or not. This is what you told me on Wednesday. I just want to make sure that you're cool with saying that, because I can see like how it might get misconstrued or overreacted to. He was like, nah, bro, like you're good. It's good. Run it. Like, because like in 2020, that was the case. Today, fuck no. He looked me in the eye. He said, make sure you write fuck no. That I said F no. I was like, yeah. Done. So that was the case. So that was that's one of the takeaways.
It's hard to go to a gunfight with a butter knife.
And that's unfortunately what the Dolphins were. They were a butter knife at that time with what they had in coaching, head coach, and the people around Tua at that time. It just wasn't very good, and there was no way. It's hard to win with what they had, and still he won more than he lost. He threw more touchdowns than interceptions, and he was pressured when he was handing off the ball. So to me, that's the funny part, because if you can go to YouTube, it's there, and go watch the video at the end of the 2020 season. And I say Tua had a heck of a year, because when you actually take into account, because I looked at it the right way. His first 2 years, he wasn't the problem. It was all the shit and dysfunction around him. That's what created the problems. Once you cleared out the dysfunction and you got proper coaching and proper talent, you got the same results you got at Alabama. The guy's a hell of a player. He's a star. But in football, you can't carry dog shit around for a championship, bro. That ain't gonna happen. Just ain't gonna happen.
Again, better situations right now. But the rest of that, man, it's preview work. Going to try to link up with Elena Getzenberg up in Buffalo and kind of maybe get something done about what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, because that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking at on Sunday. And then catch me Sports Center. I got TV basically all day on Wednesday, Around the Horn on Tuesday, Around the Horn on Friday. If you guys want to check in, appreciate that. But that is my week, man. Busy week coming up.
Follow him on Twitter. Your week's all right.
I'm not complaining.
If you were in Vegas with me this weekend coming up, the Canelo fight and U2 inside the Sphere and the Bills Dolphins at a Dolphins bar in Vegas, Tommy Rockers, that's where we're going to be. That's a week, my brother. That's a week right there.
Hey, get the flight miles up.
Huh? What's that?
Get those flight miles up, man. Love to hear it.
Big time. I'm just, brother, Thursday night in the Sphere for U2, I am going to be in heaven, brother. It's just, I can't wait for that, to see a concert in that place and see my favorite band of all time, U2. I can't wait for that, bro. That's going to be awesome. And we're 57 on Sunday. It's our birthday, October 1st.
Happy birthday.
So I need a Bills big time loss. I need the Dolphins to rout them by 30 or 40 points. That would be really, really nice. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch him twice a week here doing his thing, of course, with the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report. Marcel, thank you as always, my friend. Have a terrific week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Don't forget, bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal damage, business owner claims. Listen, we're still in storm season. Now we're on the decline of storm season, which is, thank the Lord, bro. We got October, November left. But just in case we do get hit by a storm, by the way, we're getting stormy situations, aren't we? I mean, a lot of wind, a lot of rain lately. And so you could have some water damage, some wind damage. Make sure before you call those insurance companies, you call Welton Rayom. They have their own. Okay. They will actually take care of you, folks, because they have their own adjusters. The insurance companies send their adjusters, but their adjusters are working for the insurance companies. They're not looking out for your best. No, man. Welton Rayom's going to do that. So if you're dealing with personal injury, listen, you don't know if you have a case. You're thinking, man, this happened to me a month ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. I wonder if I have a case. Call. The consultation's completely free. Ask for Jeff Welch right now. Dan or Jeff are amazing. 954-966-4646. Anywhere in South Florida, anywhere in Florida. One of our listeners in Orlando hired Welton Rayom. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with Marcel Louis-Jacques. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Alex says, living here in Albuquerque, this is Bronco country. So I'm happy Miami whooped that ass. Go Fins. Great show. See you in Vegas this weekend. All right.
And remember, any of you that live in Vegas, we are going to be in Vegas starting on Wednesday night. We'll be staying in the MGM Grand, and we'll be there through Sunday night. We leave what's our flight? Like 11 o'clock at night, right? On Sunday, we're taking the red eye, right? So we'll get to do the Dolphins pre and post game show and then fly out. Because remember, the game starts over there at 10 a.m. So we'll be on. Oh God, it sucks that we're gonna have to wake up so early on Sunday. Oh man, but anyway, so we'll be there getting you ready for the Bills and the Dolphins from Tommy Rockers in Las Vegas. Okay, so join us if you're in the Vegas area. I know the Vegas Dolphin Club is there. We'll be posting something on social media today to start getting that thing going. So we'll be there at Tommy Rockers. So join us, por favor, this Sunday there in Las Vegas. And if you're going to the U2 concert in Las Vegas on the first night, because I'm not going to the second night, I'm going to the first night only. Second night, I'll be watching the Canelo fight. Looking forward to that. If you are going, let's do it, man. Let's have some fun. Love to meet any of you out there. By the way, I did not know that Albuquerque, New Mexico is full of Broncos fans. Did not know that. Did I miss any super chats? I saw Mateo's, which, why would you want to help the Jets, by the way? You know what I mean? There's no, and let's be honest, the Jets let him go. Do the Jets really think that Mike White is going to be the difference in their season? Come on, man. I like Mike White as a backup, but if Tua goes down, Mike White ain't saving shit, dude. I think the Jets kind of know that. You know, it's fun talk and all that kind of stuff. But if you're the Dolphins, you're not here to help the Jets make your life harder this year. You know what I mean? And maybe Mike White doesn't really make your life harder, because I think the Dolphins will whoop Mike White's ass when it's all said and done. But what happens if by some miracle he is half decent and he helps them and you lose a game against the Jets? At this point, you don't help the Jets, you don't help the Bills, and you don't help the Patriots. You just don't. And for your sake, what about if you miss Tua for a week or two and you don't have Mike White to lift you up, and maybe Skylar struggles? So, you know, Mike White came in, threw a touchdown, so he did his job. Yeah, you know, you're here to help the Dolphins, not the Jets, dude. So that stuff can't fly. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. What's going on in the crypto market? It is still over 26,000. So we are steady and holding. The Dow is down 11 points. The S&P is up almost 10 points. And the NASDAQ is barely down 10,000th of a point, basically. So not too much. Not too much. By the way, the Dolphins have opened up as a 2.5-point dog. We are 5-0 with the Dolphins this season. 3 on the spread. We laid the points in the last 2 games, took the points in the third game, which is the first game. And we took the money line in the first 2 games. I did not take the money line yesterday, even though I felt great about it, but it was just too much. It was $240 or something, plus 240. It's just too much. So this week against the Bills, I look to go 7-0 with the Dolphins, because I'm taking the points 2.5, and I'm taking the money line, because the Dolphins are winning this game. They're not going to need the points and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and lose by a point, and hey, I won because I got 2.5 and all that. No. The Dolphins are winning on Sunday. They will beat the Bills. I am getting the 2.5 points, because why not? More points for me. Thank God. And plus 120 on the money line. Well, thank you very much, sir. May I have another? Do you know what I did this past week with the Broncos? I laid the 6 points, the initial line. Yesterday in the morning was 5.5. I doubled up. I said, well, wait a minute. You're going to make it easier for me now? I'll take more money. Let's go. Let's do it. You want to play that game? Let's go. I took it at 5.5 and 6. You want to lower it at 5? I would have added more. How about that? You know, I just keep doubling and doubling like what I do with crypto, basically. Let's see. True Fin fan. Please ask Big O to wish my wife Vanessa. Vanessa, happy 25th anniversary. Wow. That is awesome. It's our 25th, and we're watching the show together before we head out. Wow, that is awesome, True Fin fan, man. True Fin fan, Vanessa, congratulations. Happy 25th, man. That is awesome. We had ours like 4 years ago. So that is a blessing, okay? To find the person you love and be able to be with them for a quarter century. That's a gift of God, man, right there. You know, there's nothing better than being able to find that person that you can spend the rest of your life with, share all the great moments. You know what I mean? Share the ups and the downs. You know, that's what I love about my wife, that she and I have gone through the ups and the downs. And that's what makes the relationship even stronger, because you know that you're both there for each other no matter what happens. That's how you get to 25 years. So congratulations to both of you, man. That was awesome. Good job. And everybody, Skull, there's nearly 600 people on the chat board. Let's wish True Fin fan and Vanessa a happy 25th wedding anniversary. That is one of the great accomplishments in life. So congratulations, True Fin fan and Vanessa. That is awesome. So make sure you congratulate them and you hit the like button at the same time, because I see there's 267 likes and 585. Come on, man. You know, the likes should be well over 500 already. Do it for True Fin fan and Vanessa. Okay? Let's do it. There we go. The congrats are coming in. We all need to bet the money line this week. Dolphins are 2.5 dogs right now. I am on it. Shame on us if we put a ceiling of what we are capable of. Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel, they're just getting started. Big O, yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're not even at their best yet. Maybe offensively. No, actually, they weren't. They didn't have Waddle yesterday. So I like it. I like it. See, we're a family. The happy anniversaries are rolling in. I like that. Very, very proud of you all. And don't forget to watch the hell out of the platform as much as you can. Even if you got to walk away, let it play. Okay? Please. Let's see what we got here. Let's go through a little birthdays and some entertainment stuff. First of all, let's go through music. Music history today on September 25th. In 1980, John Bonham drummer Led Zeppelin choked to death on his own vomit after drinking 40 shots of vodka. He was 32. In 1970, I don't know if I could do 4 shots of vodka. 40 shots. Holy crap. In 72, Black Sabbath released their 4th album, Black Sabbath Volume 4. In 76, Wings played a charity concert at Venice's St. Mark's Square to raise funds for the historic area. And while the night was a success, the weight of the equipment they used caused more damage to the square. In 76, Boston's self-titled debut album entered the charts. It would go on to become the fastest-selling debut album in chart history. And to this day, one of the great masterpieces of rock and roll history. That first Boston album, there is not one average song on that album. It is all exceptional from beginning to end. In 1982, Queen performed on Saturday Night Live. In 1990, on this day, David Grohl of the Washington, D.C. band Scream joined Nirvana. And that's what happened today in music history. Now, birthdays on September 25th. Will Smith is 55. Donald Glover, the actor, is 40. T.I., the rapper, is 43. I thought he was older. When I saw it this morning, I go, T.I.'s only 43? I thought he was like 50. So I was kind of surprised with that. Bella Ramsey, actress, 20. Chauncey Billups, basketball player, 47. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, the Force is with you, is 72 years old. Damn, Luke Skywalker. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Boy, in her day, man, that woman is beautiful. 54 years old today. Scottie Pippen is 58. Christopher Reeves was born on this date back in 52. We lost him in 2004. That horse accident, to this day, it's still, to think that, Superman, and then he ends like that and all that. It was so odd. Michael Douglas, how weird is it? How cool is it? How strange that Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas, I also had no idea. Did you guys know that they shared the same birthday? They're married, right? So Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas are celebrating a birthday today. Catherine Zeta-Jones, what did I tell you she was? She's 54. Michael Douglas is 79 today. So it's like an anniversary. It's like Valentine's Day. It's like Christmas for Douglas and Zeta-Jones. They switch gifts on the same day. Okay. All right. Barbara Wawa, or Barbara Walters, born on this date in 1929. We lost the legend in 2022. Just lost her recently, man. Hal Sparks, TV show host. He is 54. Very funny guy, by the way. And Cade Cunningham, basketball player, 22 years old today. A big list today of people celebrating birthdays, man. Good stuff there. Good stuff as always. T Goods, thank you for the love in the super chat. If Tua wins the NFL MVP and the Super Bowl this year, where does that place him on the all-time Dolphins QB ranking? Does he jump Marino? My brother, if he adds a Super Bowl, yeah, he's probably going to end up jumping Marino. Yeah, the day he wins a Super Bowl, he'll end up doing what Dan couldn't do, bro. Wade jumped him with 3 titles, and Dan's my guy, bro. Dan's my guy. Dan will always be my guy, the best ever. But you got to give Tua his due if he wins the Super Bowl and the MVP. Brother, what more do you want from the guy? But it's the same thing that happened to Dan. What I love is when people tell me, oh, well, what does Tua need he needs this, he needs that, what, he needs to be perfect? Oh, that's why Dan didn't win, bro, because he didn't have the perfect team around him, like Joe Montana had. An offensive line, a running game, a defense, great coaching. What do you think? You think you do it all by yourself? So if Tua wins the MVP and wins the Super Bowl, yeah, he becomes number 2 in town. Yes. Wade will be 1. Tua will be number 2. Yes. Tua will be Tua in town. Okay. And then if he wins more championships, then he'll have a chance to jump Wade and become the Uno will be Uno. Okay. But yeah, you get a Super Bowl and an MVP. It's hard to beat that, man. I know Bob Greasy has 2 rings. I get it. I get it, my brother. I totally get it. Hell of a quarterback, Hall of Famer. When it's all said and done, Tua's a better quarterback than Bob Greasy. Just want you to know that. Okay? Tua's a better quarterback. So, you're an older fan. I lived the Bob Greasy era. I lived the Marino era. Okay? And Greasy was a hell of a quarterback. But I'm telling you, Tua's a better quarterback. And as time goes on, unless he gets injured and he's out of the league, then obviously he won't pass Greasy. But as time goes on, he will pass Greasy with no problem as the second best quarterback in this franchise. Yeah. Talent-wise, I don't think he'll ever pass Marino. But accomplishments, yeah, if you win the Super Bowl and the MVP, yeah, you got to put him ahead. But, yeah, when it's all said and done, I think Tua will be the better quarterback than Greasy. I can already see that. You want to disagree with me? That's fantastic. I'm used to it. But, yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it. So, Big O, I really appreciated the segment about negativity, potential injuries, etc. At least 5 people hit me up. Well, you're still the one Tua hit from it all coming down. Why are people so well? Because they live on negativity. That's our society. We live off of negativity. That's the sad part, dude. But it's who we are. It's just who we are. We love handing off MVPs. And when people perform at an incredibly high level, we award them the Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
MVP is a collective group of individuals who have done a magnificent job this year, and without them, you're not 3-0 because it is a team game when it's all said and done. And Teron Armstead, all right, Kendall Lamb, Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, and Austin Jackson. Gentlemen, I want to give all 6 of you the Cutter's Edge MVP of the night. You all deserve this award. William Quigley, Mike, all the great people at Cutter's Edge, they put together an MVP performance every single day of their lives. They improve everybody's homes, their HOAs, everything. And if you need that kind of service anywhere in South Florida, you will experience MVP service, MVP quality products, the trees, everything that they use, the work that they do is MVP-like. That's what you get from Cutter's Edge Pro every day. Well, who are the ones that we're getting it from when it comes to sports? Those 6 guys. Right now, you have rushed for 565 yards on 93 carries. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 6.1 yards per carry. Yesterday, you had record-breaking performances. Devon Achane as a rookie, 18 rushes, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 4 receptions for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's 4 on the day. Mostert, 13 rushes for 82 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Brooks, 9 rushes, 66 yards, including a 52-yarder. And your team yesterday just kicked some serious ass. Tua Tagovailoa has been sacked 1 time this year. 1 time. The job that Mike McDaniel, Frank Smith, Butch Berry, who closely works with these guys, and those 6 gentlemen, and 7, let's give Liam Eichenberg a little love yesterday because obviously Connor got banged up and Liam Eichenberg came in and did a good job. So overall, let's give some love to the offensive line. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday you had records of most points, 70, most touchdowns, 10, most yards, 726, most rushing yards, 350, most extra points, 10, most points scored in a second half, 35. That's a tied record. Individual records. Sanders had 10 extra points. TDs, Mostert and A-Chain with 4 each. Points scored, Mostert and A-Chain with 24. Rushing yards by a rookie, 203 by A-Chain. Most TDs by a rookie, A-Chain, 4. It doesn't happen without those 7 guys on the offensive line. So not only do you have starters, but you also have depth now. Something that you never had 5 starters, much less let's talk about depth now. So I want to give those 7 men, and I'm including Liam Eichenberg in there, the Cutter's Edge MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Righty, let's go over our 3A Graphics sports calendar. We love Alan Blanco and all the great people at 3A Graphics, 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. Call them. Folks, your business, your company, your club, your fantasy football team, maybe you need some uniforms, whatever it is that you may need, custom printing and embroidery. Maybe you're all going to go to some party, or you're all going to run a marathon and you want to print some shirts, or you're going to have some kind of an event and you need shirts or hats or anything like that, or you got to print pens or any kind of products that you need, keychains, all that kind of stuff that you want some stuff to give away to clients and things like that. Call 3A Graphics. Alan Blanco is in Hialeah. They have been at this for a long time, folks. Custom printing and embroidery. 786-251-3404. Last night, the Dolphins yesterday afternoon, the Dolphins took care of business against the Broncos 70-20. They are undefeated at 3-0. Inter Miami went on the road to Orlando City. No Busquets, no Jordi Alba, and no Messi. No problem. They picked up a big-time draw on the road. 1-1 against Orlando City. Ruiz with a goal in the 52nd minute. They are now 5 points out of the final playoff spot with 5 games left. Wednesday, they take on Houston for the U.S. Open Cup title at 8:30 at Drive Pink Stadium. They got a chance to add another cup to the trophy case. So let's hope they do that. Marlins defeat the Brewers 6-1. They are off today. They're still 1 game out of the wild card race. Cincinnati's in front of them. Tuesday, they will take on the Mutts. They got to come through with that one. They beat Temple 41-7. They are off this week. Tonight, we got 2 games in Monday Night Football. Eagles and Bucks at 7:15, and the Rams and the Bengals at 8:15. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hunter Butler says, Connor Williams get a victory cigar? Hell nah. No, he did all right yesterday. Had a couple high snaps. Not ones that went over anybody's head or anything like that. But I will say this, man. What happens if Tua tears a rotator cuff having to reach for snaps? Well, if he does, he can go to Baptist Health. Because, folks, he's a professional athlete, but you don't have to be a professional athlete to go where the pros go. The doctors at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care can now see you. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to request an appointment and get yourself back in the game. So if you have an injury that's keeping you from doing what you love, like catching a football, take charge of your health and get back in the game with the help of the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. We have some news. Chargers Mike Williams has suffered a torn ACL. He is out for the season. That sucks, but not surprising because Mike Williams has always been injured from his days at Clemson, and that has never stopped. He has never been durable, unfortunately for him. Has Mike Williams ever played an entire season? I wonder if he's ever played an entire season. Let me see what
what we got here. I'm going to look it up right now. Here we go. Mikey Williams out of Clemson. What do we got for him? Hey, he's a Libra like I am. He was born 3 days after me. I'm a October 1st boy. He's an October 4th guy. Games started. He's never started 16 games ever. Although apparently he was available for 16 games in 2021, but only started 14. So he might have been banged up for 2 other games or something like that. He has started, his first year, he started 1 game, 5 his second, 15 his third, 11 out of 15, 14 out of 16, 13 2 years ago, and so far 3, and that's where it'll end. Yeah, he has missed he has had no luck. He came into the league with a serious back issue. Mike Williams. So, well, Justin Herbert, you're going to have to raise your level. I mean, remember, Justin Herbert is the second coming. He is great. So he doesn't need Mike Williams, So, Tua doesn't need any help. You're going to judge Tua on the first 2 years with no help. You get no breaks either, Justin Herbert. Okay? So, sorry. Too bad, so sad, as they say. I got no sympathy for Justin Herbert and all of you that were dead ass wrong about him. Okay? Zero sympathy for you or Justin Herbert. Still waiting for Justin Herbert to be that incredible player that people bragged about so much. Tua threw 2 touchdowns left-handed and 2 touchdowns right-handed, the 2 shuttles to A-Chain. No other QB has done that except for Tua. Oh, have you ever been to Tom's in Kendall? I have not. I've been to Tom's NFL Club like crazy in Miami Springs. Bill Preston, my best friend, lived in the Springs and in Hialeah. And he knows the people very well there at Tom's NFL. And so I used to go there all the time. We used to have our fantasy drafts. We had for a couple of years in a row. We would do it at Tom's NFL Club in Miami Springs, which everybody, that's if you've been around this town for a long time, you probably know Tom's NFL Club there on 36th Street, right by the airport. It's an institution. It's been there forever. So I know that Tom's has opened up the new one. Where was that the Tony Roma's? The building that was Tony Roma's, right? I believe. And so they now have one here on Kendall Drive close to my house. I have not been there, but I'm pretty sure it should be a pretty cool place. That would be a great place for us to do our pre- and post-game shows. Big O, I waited my entire life to enjoy a game from start to finish. NorCal, we're all there with you, bro. Well, not my entire life, but I've waited a couple decades for this to come back. And you know what? NorCal's known me for a while. And he knows that I haven't had a lot of good things to say about the Dolphins over the last 20 years. So, but hey, NorCal, at least you got to admit I'm money, baby. Because when they suck, I tell you that they suck, and they do suck. And then when I'm telling you they're going to be good, they're actually good. So kind of helps me on the credibility part. Because most people are like, oh, man, again, you're going to have another negative attitude about this. I'm like, well, I don't see it. What do you want me to tell you, bro? Dave Wanstead's not the guy. I can't. Kim Cameron's not the guy. Joe Philbin's not. I mean, I shit on Joe Philbin the second he was hired. So it's just one of those things, This is different, man. This is real, NorCal. All this shit we had for the last 25, all that was fake. This is real. This is legitimate, dude. Did you see that pass that should have been picked off that Herbert threw? No, I didn't see it. I didn't see any of the game from the Chargers. And, if I don't have to watch that, Maybe I'll watch the highlights later on YouTube. I'll watch some of the highlights of different games and stuff like that. But no, I didn't see it. I mean, I don't really need to watch much more of Justin Herbert to know what he is, Downside to having best team in the league, more night games coming. Yeah, that's the downside for me and Sean. That we're going to have more restless nights because they're going to be flexing the hell out of the Dolphins to afternoons and evenings later on in the season, if they continue this, of course. But yeah. And Liam, yes, SoCal Derek is in the house. Liam did a nice job at center, bro. I haven't watched the game film yet again, but I need to watch it. But from what it looked like, he did a pretty good job. Some of the snaps were a little high, but it looks like Tua's kind of used to the high snaps already. He deals with it like it's nothing, man. But he did a good job blocking. There's no doubt in snapping overall. There was no terrible snaps or anything like that. But he did a good job. And who knows? Maybe Liam turns into a player. And after all the crap that everybody talked about, he hit on Hunt. It looks like Jackson's turning the corner. So you hit on 2 of 3. That's great. But if Liam actually can help you out at center and become a center for you, then you found another player. And so you end up hitting on him. And after all that panic and all that crap, by now, right? There can't be any more Chris Greer haters, right? It's impossible by now to hate Chris Greer. It's impossible by now to think that Chris Greer's not the guy for the job, right? By now. I don't know what more you need, but no general manager in Dolphin history finds a coach and a quarterback. None. It's never happened. You guys know that, right? Because Don Shula was his own GM and he was the coach. So he never had to go find a coach. In Dolphin history, it's never happened. No general manager in Miami Dolphins history has found a coach and a quarterback. No general manager outside of the name of Don Shula ever found a quarterback. So where are you with Chris Greer by now? I would imagine it's over, right? I mean, the level of ignorance that will come out of your mouth will be shocking at this point. Big O, we all know Peyton would have kicked that field goal for the record if it wasn't. That's fine, bro. Who cares? I don't give a shit what Peyton's going to do or not do, man. None of that matters to me. And to me, worried about that record is a bunch of bullshit. You need to rewind, bro, because I ripped idiots that are worried about that record. If Tua leads the Dolphins to a Super Bowl, does he automatically become the best quarterback in? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So all he needs is a few more seasons of playing ball. And if he wins a championship, yeah, dude, he'll probably become the number 1 guy. Not hate, but that Chubb's move concerns me, and we should address that inside linebacker position. Rosendo, the team is 3-0, bro. They're not perfect. Everybody knows they don't have a thumper at middle linebacker. And Chubb's not a thumper. He's an outside guy. He's a pass rusher. So that's his job. And there is no more complaining about Chris Greer. When most of your moves hit, you don't worry about a few that may not hit. And the Chubb one is not one that may not hit. You understand that? You understand what I'm saying now at this point. Do not complain about anything anymore. Okay? You complain when they suck.
You don't complain when they're 3-0 and they're the best offense in the NFL and one of the 3 best teams in the NFL with one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL with the best offensive mind in the NFL right now. There is no room for complaining. Understand that, Rosendo. You're the guy that sends a lot of positive vibes. Don't go with that shit, dude. Okay? There's nothing. It's the same idiots that complain about Noah Igbenogany. And they hit on Fitz, and they hit on Holland, and they hit on X, and they find Needham, and they find Kohu, and they find Brandon Jones. Dude, the Justin Bethel guy helps out. Like, every time I hear somebody complain about Noah Igbenogany, when it's the only miss in the secondary, pretty much, bro, shut up. Shut up. Just like whining about Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg when the entire team is excellent, when they found a quarterback and a coach, when they have all kinds of successful draft picks. You want to pick on the 2 that didn't work out. And guess what? One of them now has worked out in Austin Jackson, and who knows? Liam Eichenberg might work out. I don't know. Offensive coaches, the real ones that we have here, they didn't want to give up on him. I wonder why they didn't want to give up on him. There is no room for complaining at all right now. None. You want to go back to 5 years or 10 or 15? No room for complaining. What up with that, Rosendo? You send a lot of inspirational quotes, but can't find the inspiration to see how good Chubb is playing. It's like come on, bro. No complaining right now. None. Nada. You people act like you've been winning championships left and right. Like, what the hell is wrong with some of you out there? You're 3-0. The team is freaking awesome. You're the only undefeated team in the conference. 0 complaints, please. It's just like the world feeds off of negativity, dude. That's what it is, bro. It's like you cannot allow anyone to enjoy themselves and have some fun. Some guy sends me a tweet. Well, so yeah, everything's great until an ACL. I'm like, bro, what the hell is wrong with you? What kind of stupid shit is that? I ripped the guy. He sent me a DM yesterday. It's like, really? That's what you're waiting for? So you're not going to enjoy the moment because you just want to wait for some... It's just, my God, dude. Like, seriously, what's wrong with you? Ohio John, me and my wife had a great time at the game. Thank you for the love in the super chat, Ohio John. What an experience. We capped it off by becoming season ticket holders, about to load up those flyer miles. Yeah! Love it. Thank you, Ohio John. Appreciate you. Big O, hear me out. I'm complaining because it took all of 35 years of my life for us to be good. Other than that, I'm loving life. That's true. They took too damn long to be good again. That's the only complaint we can have here. Why did it take you so long? You know, yeah, that's the only complaint we can have. But we can't complain about the team. There's nothing to complain about. Don't allow people to bring you down. I've been telling you this before this happened. Before this season started, I've been trying to tell you guys, quit with the negativity and quit listening, reading, watching these people that just feed off negativity and they're just searching for clicks, dude. Stop it already. They're the ones that they don't want to allow you to enjoy this. So I'm trying to tell you, enjoy this thing. This is real. I've been trying to tell you this now for months. This is real. Enjoy it. This is a hell of a football team, and now it's coming to fruition. You deserve this shit, dude. What you don't deserve is negativity and just people questioning crap and all that stuff. You don't need that right now. Look, man, negative stuff happens, like Mike Williams for the Chargers, then we'll deal with it. When Jalen Ramsey, then we'll deal with it. But I'm not going to sit here talking and waiting and expecting negativity. So is that what we're going to do with the Heat? Well, I don't know. They win and bring championships. Is that what we're going to do with the Panthers? No, I'm not doing that. And why am I going to do it with the Dolphins? Am I going to start doing that with the Canes too now? Oh, yeah, can't wait. Oh, I can't enjoy Mario and the Canes at 4-0. Nah, well, Van Dyke's going to get injured, and then the season's over. Right, that's the attitude I'm going to take? No, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I refuse to be that person. I've never been that person. If it's negative, I'll tell you, unfortunately. But if there's positive, why are we dealing with the negativity? Don't get it. Rafael Luciano. Big O, Miami's defense will be better with each game. Yes, sir. And once they get Ramsey back, oh, my God, is it going to get ugly. Okay? Really ugly. Remember, folks, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And as always, you can make a Bitcoin donation, which is my favorite kind of Bitcoin donation. All right. We thank Marcel Louis-Jacques. Ira Winderman normally joins us on Mondays. He'll join us tomorrow. Okay? Because, of course, he is celebrating the Jewish holiday. And congratulations to all. And may you be celebrating in peace. So we will talk to Ira tomorrow. We thank Sean Stanley, as always, the man, the myth, the legend that masters this entire platform every single day. We thank all of you for tuning in, giving us a like, tuning in. Please hit that like button before you get the hell out, man. Get us over 500, please. All of you that haven't hit the like button, please, let's go. Hit it as much as possible. Watch as much as possible. The wrestling show, our show, all of that. I see Peter German just sent in on Venmo. Let me see what he put. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate you. Thank you. He says, great win last night. Funny listening to all the hosts that badmouth Tua now jump on the bandwagon. Proud Tuanon member since 2020. There you go. That's right. That's us. We're the loyal ones. We're the real ones, bro. All the other ones are a bunch of phonies. And those people say, oh, yeah, I was always believing in Tua, this, that. They're all full of shit. They're all full of shit. The only one that never wavered about his talent and his abilities were right here, baby. Right here. Only one. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you at Hialeah Park tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Afternoon show, because it's the Thursday show moving over to Tuesday, because Wednesday we leave to Vegas. So, tomorrow, Hialeah Park at 3 p.m. You all be good out there. Be safe. Much love.
This is the Big O Show.